So today's question is from a woman who's been married about 10 years, who feels she married the wrong person, and she wants to know what she should do. Should she get a divorce? Should she stay in the marriage? How should she cope with it? So first, I would say that what you're experiencing is not unusual. Many people that have been married for a good amount of time, at one point or another, may feel that they should have married somebody else, somebody with different qualities, characteristics, etc. So there's a lot to say on this subject. But first, I would say there's a concept called cognitive distortions. As we know, our thoughts affect how we feel, and there's certain general patterns of thought that many people carry that has a corresponding negative effect on our emotions. And one of those is seeing the negative. Now, within everything, there's a mix, there's good and bad. And it's our choice what we want to focus on. So I want to share two stories. One story is it took place with the Rebbe Rashab, the fifth Rebbe of Chabad. Two Hasidim came to visit, and each one had a personal audience with the Rebbe. The first one came in, and the Rebbe asked him, "So what's happening in Odessa?" So the Chassid explained that, Rebbe, it's very difficult. Hardly anyone comes to the minyan. Hardly anyone comes to the classes we give. Kashrus, keeping kosher. Hardly anybody's keeping it, etc., etc., etc. Kind of giving a very bleak picture of what was going on in Odessa. So the Rebbe Rashab said, "Thank you." And the Chassid left. The second Chassid comes in, and the Rebbe asks the same question. What's happening in Odessa? So the Chassid this time paints a very rosy picture. Rebbe, people are really trying to come to the minyan. More and more people are coming. More people are coming to classes. There's a lot of people getting stronger in their observance of kashrus, and things are generally looking better. Things are going better. So the Rebbe gives him a gold coin to help with his expenses and bids him farewell. So when he comes out, the other chassid realizes what happens, and he comes back into the Rebbe's room. He says, "Rebbe, I don't understand. I told you what's going on in Odessa, and I didn't hold back, and you didn't give me anything. But my friend, you gave a gold coin." So the Rebbe said, "You don't think that I don't know what's happening in Odessa? I know very well what's happening in Odessa. But what I wanted to know is which Odessa you are living in." Another story. I heard this at a lecture, and it's a very, very profound story. There was a man and a woman who were married. The man was somewhat simple. The woman's very high-powered, very intellectual, really a go-getter. And after a while, she just felt like it wasn't the right match, that she just couldn't accept anymore her husband's simplicity. She wanted somebody more like her, so they got a divorce. After a while, the husband remarried, and the ex-wife happened to run in to the new wife. And her curiosity was really gnawing at her, and she couldn't hold back. She asked the new wife, "How are things going?" And the new wife says, "Very good, great, things are wonderful." So the ex-wife is just extremely curious. She says, how is that? How are things going so great? She says, "What can I say? He's great at barbecuing. He's great at going on hikes." And so that's what the new wife said. So the point of both stories is, where do we choose to put our focus? Are we going to focus on the negative, or are we going to choose to focus on the positive? Because in every situation, there's always going to be a mixture, and it's up to us to choose where we want to put our focus. Oftentimes, we project onto others what we're feeling inside. So when we tend to focus on our own negativity, our own faults, our own areas where we feel we're not as good as we could be. We put ourselves down, we're critical of ourselves. We tend to project that onto other people, and we're critical of other people too. But in addition to focusing on the good in other people and the positives, it's also good to practice focusing on the good in ourselves, seeing our positives, being our own best friend, being on our side, seeing the good in ourselves. And when we do that, we'll also learn to project that onto other people and see the good in other people too. And in conclusion, it's also very important to remember that we have a choice to really internalize on a feeling level, not just an intellectual level, but on a feeling level, that we have a choice. We're not victims of our situation, but we can choose where we want to put our focus. And we can choose to focus on the good. So, in answer to your question, I would say I would not jump into divorce, but rather I would work on seeing the good, seeing the positive in your husband, seeing his qualities that are something to be proud of. And I think the more you focus on that, the more you do that, the more you'll see positive results.